I actually do not know the date of this coin at this moment, but we are going to find out. You can see we have a nice San Francisco mint mark right there, and we're gonna flip this over hoping for a 1938 or a 39. Let's see what we get here, guys. 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody and welcome back to Coin Quest. Coin Quest, of course, is the series where I take $100 boxes of nickels like this one, which I get from my banks, go through the rolls in the box looking for interesting and valuable coins that I can use to fill in these collection books. Alright, so here is our $100 box of nickels in all of its glory. Let's go ahead and open it up to reveal the rolls in the box, and you can see I wrote a little note here saying that we have a 1940 ender and then 3 reverse Denver enders, and then this is going to be a very nice box. So let me just show you that 1940 ender right now. So this right here is what we in the coin roll hunting community would call a possible double ender. We have a definite 1940 on that end, and then right here, this one looks super old, and I'm hoping that's going to be pre-1960s. The other 3 enders that I saw in this box all have Denver mint marks showing. We have the reverse showing on all 3 of them. The middle one is the one that looks the most promising to me. I'm thinking that these ones on the outer edges are probably going to be early 60s, but this one in the middle looks like it's probably going to be 40s or 50s. We won't know until we get it out of the roll. So when it comes to nickels, I consider anything pre-1960s as a keeper. So we already know that we have one keeper on this end right here, the 1940 ender. This is probably going to be another keeper right here, making this a double ender, which is super rare, doesn't come up at all. With that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into this roll live to see if we can actually get the elusive double ender. So let's go ahead and unroll it, and I will grab, oh, what in the world, guys? We have a penny in the roll. It actually looks like it might be kind of old. It looks like it's definitely got a copper edge. Wouldn't it be crazy if we could pull a wheat penny out of this possible double ender right here? Let's take a look at what we're gonna get. And look at that, guys. It's not even an American penny, a 1975 Canadian copper penny right there. So bizarre to be coming out of a nickel roll, although I have been getting quite a few of these in the past. Not Canadians, but just pennies in general. So we will put that one to the side. I'm gonna grab this coin. Actually, I'm gonna grab this end first because we already know that this is the 1940, and I'm gonna save that other one for last. So let's take a look at the 1940 ender right there. You can see the date, and we'll flip it over to the reverse to see if we're gonna get that San Francisco mint mark, which would be better than any other mint mark. So let's go ahead and flip it over and take a look there. And as you can see to the right of the Monticello, there is no mint mark, so this is just going to be a 1940 Philadelphia. Now let's take a look at that other ender to see if we're gonna get the elusive double ender. All right, so there's the reverse. We see no mint mark on that side as well, but now we're gonna flip it over to see the date side here in 3, 2, 1. Oh, guys, come on. 1966 fooled us, really? All right, so here we have the 3 reverse Denver enders. I'm gonna go for that one in the middle first because I think it has the best chance of being something good. So let's see if we can just peel that out while you guys are still able to see that. I'm just gonna try to do this without spilling any of the coins. You'll see it go around a couple of times and see if we have any pennies in that roll. Doesn't look like it, so we won't get shorted 4 cents this time. But I'm sure that we will end up getting another one on this box at some point. They usually come in groups. All right, so there is the Denver. If you couldn't see it before, you should be able to see it now. We have a nice little Denver mint mark there on the right side. Now we're gonna flip this coin over and see if we're gonna get a nice date as well in 3, 2, 1. All right, so like I said, guys, 40s or 50s, this one ended up being in the 40s, 1948 Denver, and I'm actually not sure if that is better or worse than the Philadelphia and San Francisco mint. So I'm gonna pull my book out here, and we'll see if we need that one, because again, guys, if you aren't familiar with the Coin Quest series, the main objective of the series is to fill out this book as far as we can, and I filled it up quite a bit so far, but there's definitely still some holes that need to be filled. So let's take a look here. 1948 Denver. Looks like we have the entire 1948 series, so that will not be filling any holes in the collection. All right, let's just real quickly open up these other 2. I don't think that these are going to be anything other than maybe just early 60s, but just in case there's something interesting in the middle of the roll and it just kind of spilled out on me there, let me make sure I'm not missing any. There's a 64 Denver. Let me just move these over a little bit so we get those out of the way. All right, so let's take a look at that reverse ender right there. This is the one that we were looking at, and we'll take a flip there. 1964 on that one, as suspected. Once again, briefly going through the rest of the nickels in this roll. And I see another reverse Denver right there. Let's flip this one over to see if we have anything there. Another 1964 Denver, so that's I guess that's to be expected. I'll make sure to go through the rest of these to make sure I didn't miss any 2009s in just a second. And now let's take a look at that third and final reverse D Ender and see if we're going to get something other than a 1964 on this one. All right, once again, no pennies in the roll, so that's a good sign. Let's grab that one from the end right there. And ooh, look at that, guys. It actually ended up being pre-1960. It's a 1955 Denver. And if you guys have been watching the show for a while, you know that the 1955 plane is actually the one to be looking out for in that year. They only made them in Denver and Philadelphia, and the one to find is definitely the Philadelphia. We got the Denver this time, but that's okay. I will definitely take it. I was expecting a 1960s coin on that one. All right, let's go through the rest of these just real briefly to see if we have anything else in this roll. I don't think we've had any older coins in the middle of the roll yet so far, so it would be nice to see something come out. There's a 1960, just about made it. And right next to that 1960, looks like we are going to get an older coin, 1957. Flipping it over to the back side, it looks like it's going to be a Philadelphia, so that's actually better in the 1957. It's better to get the Philadelphia as well over the Denver. So we'll pull that one to the side. That's actually a pretty nice find right there. And let's see if we can get any other older coins in this roll. If not, I will just get on to the next one and make sure to turn the camera back on when I find something else. And it looks like that's probably going to be the case. I see something that's kind of interesting right here. I want to bring this up to the camera. It's got this weird shimmery thing going on with it. I'm not really sure what was applied to that coin, but it looks like it's just on the obverse. It's kind of sticky as well. It's like a gold color to it. All right, well, that's it for those rolls, guys. That was a pretty exciting first 4 rolls. I'm excited to get into the rest of the box and see what else we can find. All right, guys, now this is pretty bizarre. We've actually had 3 enders so far that turned out to be pre-60s coins. If you remember, we had the 40, 48, and 55 Denver. And I actually had another ender just now that I completely missed. Had no clue that it was going to be an ender. The reason for that is because it came out reverse. This reverse was showing on the end. You see that we don't have a mint mark. It's got a nice dark patina to it. It's actually in pretty decent shape, especially for the year that this is going to end up being, guys. Check this out. I flip it over and we have a 1953 plane right there. That is 4 confirmed enders, one that actually slipped by me. That is so cool. So I will be putting that one to the side. We don't actually need that one in the collection, but it's still cool to see. A couple rolls ago, I also had another small win. 1959 Denver came out, and then I also had this one come out, which was super weird to see. You can see the reverse looks like it might be an older coin. Flip it over, and actually somehow the date area is completely wiped out. It's like somebody grinded the date clean off. So there's no way of telling what the date on this coin was, but I think it may have actually been in the 50s, if not even the 40s. Okay, so a few rolls later now, and I think on this roll I may have multiple opportunities for silver war nickels. Now, if you don't know, from 1942 to 1945, the United States Mint made nickels out of 35% silver. And you'll see that if you ever find one, they usually come out a little bit darker. You can sort of identify them by the edges. You can see we have a couple of darker looking coins here. Some of them look dull. This one right here in particular is standing out to me, so I'm going to check this one first. And I really hope that this is a war nickel, because most of the coins that we still need in the collection are war nickels. So let me just pull this one out right here, and we'll reveal that to see if we have one. Nope, we do not on that one. That one's just going to be a 1965, it looks like. But we have a couple other chances here, so let me just pull this one out over here. This one looks a little duller. Nope, that's going to be a 2017, much newer than I was hoping for there. It is a little tricky pulling these coins out by the edge. A lot of times it's just total guesswork. It looks like that one's not going to be one. And then we had one more chance right here. Nope, that's not going to be one either. So we are 0 for 4 on this roll. All right, so the very next roll, and we have something that I thought was going to be a 1959. Turns out it's actually better than that. So for a couple of reasons. Number one, this was the second year that the Jefferson Nickel was ever made. And number two, we actually need 2 1939s in the collection. You can see right here, we have the 39 plain, and then significantly lower mintages were made for the 39 Denver and 39 San Francisco. So I'm going to flip this coin over, and hopefully by the grace of the coin roll hunting gods, we have a 1939 Denver or San Francisco. So let's flip this one over and see what we get in 3, 2, 1. There it is, the 1939 Philadelphia. As always, it's it's always there for you when you most expected, because it's the most common 1939. All right, so getting back into the hunt here, very next roll, and we have a nice old coin showing its face right here. I've actually already taken a peek at the date, and you guys are gonna remember I said 1942 to 1945 are silver war nickels, but it looks like on this one that may not be the case. As you can see right here, we have a 1942. Definitely doesn't look silver to me. We'll know by flipping it over to the backside to see if there is a mint mark above the Monticello or next to the Monticello. If we have one above, it's a silver. If we have one next to it, it is not silver. So let's take a look and see what we're gonna get here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so as you can see, no mint mark at all, which means this is going to be a 1942 Philadelphia non-silver variety. So the thing to know about the year 1942 is that they actually split that year between non-silver and silver varieties. So anyways, 42 plain non-silver variety, definitely not a bad find. I would prefer the silver one, of course, but I will take that one. And I was looking at this coin as well. This one looks quite a bit older. It's going to be a 1957, and this one also is a plain, so that's a little bit better than the 57 Denver, so I will definitely take that. All right, let's see if we're gonna get any other nice coins in this roll. Just briefly taking a look, I don't see anything crazy, so I think with that being said, we're just gonna get on to the next one and see what else we can find. So if you've watched the video up to this point and you're unfamiliar with the coin roll hunting placemat that I've been using, this is a placemat that I've designed specifically for coin roll hunting nickels. They're really useful for beginners and adept coin roll hunters, and as you can see, we have all of the different types of coins that you could possibly find in a nickel roll, aside from maybe a Canadian penny or the weird thing that shows up every once in a while. Then flipping over to the back side of the placemat, we have some information on key date, low mintage, and low mintage buffalo nickels, as well as a score sheet which I use to tally up my points in the box, just to see how this box does compared to other boxes. We also use this point system for coin roll hunting competitions. It's a really great tool for anyone who coin roll hunts nickels, and maybe the best part of it is that it's also super useful for picking up the coins and sliding them into the box once you're done. If you want to pick up this coin roll hunting placemat to aid you in your own nickel roll hunting as well as penny roll hunting placemats, you can head on over to my website at quinscoins.com, and I will put a link down in the description below. Alright guys, now this is super bizarre. As you know, I like to look at the edges of coins and try to pull out war nickels if I can, just by looking at the edges. These were a couple of attempts over here. Nothing really happened with those, but while I was pulling this coin out, another one came out with it, and it was this one right here. Actually a pretty nice looking 1940. Now here's the thing guys, I flipped this over to the backside to see what the mint mark was, just expecting, a Philadelphia like the other ones that we have found, but this is much better. Let's take a look at this together in 3, 2, 1. Look at that guys, we got a Denver, 1940 Denver. Now I don't know if this is a low mintage key date or anything like that, but what I do know is that this is a coin that we've been needing in the collection for a very long time. So take a look at this guys. I wasn't sure if we were going to get one today, but it looks like we are. 1940 Denver right there. It's going to complete this entire row. Okay, so I'm a few rolls later now. I just stopped for something that is super cool. I'm going to show you in just a second, but first I want to show you the mintage figures on that 1940 Denver, since I wasn't exactly sure what they were. So you can see right here 1940 Denver comes in at 43.5 million. The 1940S would have been slightly better at 39.7, but in our case, getting that 40D into the collection is much better than finding a duplicate 1940S, so I will take that any day of the week. But here's the super crazy thing guys, check this out. So I just found a 2009 Philadelphia nickel. Now you're probably looking at this thinking, well, what's the big deal? It just looks like any other nickel, and oh, by the way, it's damaged. Yeah, it is damaged, but here's the thing guys. The 2009 Philadelphia nickel, for whatever reason, actually has a lower mintage than that 1940 Denver that we just found, which is just absolutely boggles my mind. We had such a low mintage run of these coins that year, especially compared to the other coins like the 2010, 2011. Any coin around it was way up there in the hundreds of millions minted, and this one only got 39 million minted. That is just so cool, and we got one right here. As damaged as it is, it's definitely something that I'm going to want to pull out. So just taking a look at the reverse side, it looks like any other nickel that you would find, and we do have this one into the collection already, so we won't be adding that to the collection this time around. Okay, so the last 15 rolls or so I went through off camera. The reason for it was because I wasn't really finding anything too exceptional. I found a ton of coins, which I'm going to show you, but I did just find one right here, which I thought was worth turning the camera on for. So I saw it like this. I knew it was going to be old just looking at the wear on that coin. Flipped it over and it turned out it was another 1939 second year Jefferson War nickel. Would definitely prefer a first year Jefferson War nickel, but I will take a 1939 plain as well. So that makes it 2 on the box so far. Now for what I've been finding recently, I actually got a really nice shape 1959 Denver right there, along with another one. I think that's like our 4th on the box so far. We got a couple of 1958 Denvers, and there it goes. I'll grab it out there. 2 1958 Denvers. We got a 1953 right here, and then 3 1941s. 2 of them were plain, and this one actually turned out to be a Denver, so that's a little bit better than the plains. But lots of really cool coins. Oh, and before I forget, I also got this super crazy coin right here, which again, it's another one of those coins where you can't even make out the date. You might be able to make out the date on this one. I think I can see a mint mark on this side, which would put it at post 1964 at least. So I'll probably end up throwing this one back. But anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. Looks like we have about 15 more rolls to go in the box. So with that being said, we'll get into the next one and hopefully we can find some more good stuff. All right, well, wouldn't you know it, going through the very next roll, and we actually just got our second 2009 on the box. It's a 2009 Denver this time, which there was a few more of these made than the 2009 Philly. I believe that there was 40 something million of these made versus 39 for the Philadelphia. Still a very low mintage coin, especially for the time period. It was also in there in the same range as that 1940 Denver, which we found earlier, that went into the collection. And also this one is in a little bit better shape as well. It doesn't have those scratch marks on it like the 2009 Philadelphia did. We can see right here. Got a big scratch right across the eyeball. Man, that looks like it would be painful. All right, guys, this is absolutely ridiculous. We're about 3 rolls later from the last find that we had, and I can't believe we're still pulling out enders from this box, not even knowing that this could possibly be an ender. We got another one over here. It is a 1941, and I guess here's the reason. It's actually in pretty decent shape, especially for being this old. You would definitely not see that and think that it was old, especially looking at the reverse here. So let's see if we can get this to focus for us. So 1941, you can see that there was no mint mark, which is why I didn't flag it as a Denver reverse. But definitely looking at that, I would probably think flipping that over would result in an early 60s coins or maybe even a 1970s. But looking at the coin, it is a 1941, definitely in really nice shape. We have found quite a few of these recently, but this is probably the nicest looking one that we've got so far. So there it is, 1941. Definitely a nice coin to pull out there. It's going to the side, and that actually puts us at 5 confirmed enders on this box, which is just absolutely insane. I think that that may even set a record for us. 5 enders that ended up being pre-1960s, and actually the majority of them ended up being in the 40s. So just absolutely insane. All right, let's see if we're gonna get any more out of this one. Also keeping my eyes peeled for 2009, see if we can set another record. I don't think we've ever gotten 3 in a box before. It's usually rare just to find 1. All right, here we go. We just got a 1953 out of the box. Let's see if we can get that to focus. 1953, in pretty rough shape. It looks like it's got some scratches there on the bottom of the coin. We'll flip it over to the back side. See if we have a mint mark. It doesn't look like we do. Definitely would be looking for the San Francisco mint mark though on that one, and I don't see it there. But guys, we have been getting a ton of other old coins. As you can see here, we got 1940, 1941, just a bunch of 50s. We got the 41 that we just found right there, and then it looks like we have, I think, 57 and 54. And then we even got a Canadian coin here, which I checked. We don't need this one in the collection. It's a 1982, but it is a fairly low mintage for the Canadian coins, at least in this era. This one comes in at about 64 million made. So with that being said, guys, it looks like we have about, I don't know, 10 rolls left, maybe a little less, and I'm just gonna get into them and see if we can get anything else. All right, do you guys remember on that first roll when we got that penny in the roll and I said that we probably would be getting more? Well, it turns out that that is the case. We are about 5 rolls from the end of the box now, and I just got another one with a penny in it. This one also looks like it's going to be a copper penny. It doesn't look to be a zinc penny. Let's see if it's going to be a Canadian penny once again. Let's take a look at it. Oh, just fell out. Nope, this one's definitely going to be American. Now let's see if we're going to get a copper one. No, we're not. It's actually going to be a zinc 1998. So there is another nice little loss of 4 cents on that roll. Okay guys, we are literally 2 rolls from the end of the box, and we just got our first pre-60s San Francisco mint mark, and it came out reverse side up, so I actually do not know the date of this coin at this moment, but we are going to find out. You can see we have a nice San Francisco mint mark right there to the right of the Monticello, and we're going to flip this over hoping for a 1938 or a 39. Even a 49 would be good. All of those, I believe, need to go into the collection. So let's see what we get here, guys. 3, 2, 1. No way. 1939, guys. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's what we were trying to get earlier. Remember, we had that 39. We were trying to flip it for a Denver or a San Francisco. This is undoubtedly going to be the find of this box. Despite all those 2009s, despite the 40 Denver, this is a key date Jefferson nickel right here, and I will show you that in just a second. But let's just enjoy the glory of this 1939 San Francisco. What a way to find it too. To see that San Francisco mint mark on the reverse side, flip it over, 1939 San Francisco. Now once again, you see that we do have a little bit of damage on this coin. We have a couple of scratches on the face. Also, it looks like somebody put a dent or two in it there near the neck of Jefferson. But nonetheless, guys, this is not one that comes out at all. This may actually be the first 39S that I've ever found. So I'm going to put that to the side. I have another placemat here on the ground which we can take a look at. So we can take a look at this key date Jefferson nickel range below 10 million minted. You can see easily the 1939 Denver does appear on that list. So that is the second coin that's going to be going into the collection for us today out of this box. That is just an amazing feat. I'll go ahead and show you the collection and where that coin is going to be going exactly. So I already have the page open because this is pretty much the only page that still has coins that need to go in. And right here you can see 1939 San Francisco. So it's going to be going right there. And let me just grab the book to check the exact mintage on that coin. Also have that page already open. So let's see right here, 1939S, 6.63 million minted. Now it looks like the 39 Denver would have been slightly better at 3.5 million. Definitely better. You can see the price difference there between the two. But 39S, still an amazing coin to find. That's a key date Jefferson nickel, and definitely going to be in the thumbnail and everything. So that is super, super cool, guys. I'm going to be putting that one into the collection. We have 2 more rolls to go. I will let you know if we find anything in those. If not, we'll just go ahead and jump into the wrap-up. Alright guys, those last 2 rolls didn't have anything crazy in them, so we're going to move on to the wrap-up now, and it is a great wrap-up, guys, on a fantastic box. So let's take a look up here, starting with the Jefferson Nickels from the 1950s at 2 points apiece. We had a whopping 19 of these, and you can see all the different dates right there across the top. Definitely a lot of 59s, a lot of 58s and 57s as well. That's to be expected. We didn't have a whole lot towards the beginning of the era as usual though. The earliest we had was in 1953. Now coming down to the Jefferson Nickels from the 1940s at 4 points apiece, we have a whole bunch of 1940 and 1941. Most of them were Philadelphia. We did get that lone 1942 non-silver variety, which comes in at about 50 million minted. Pretty semi-low mintage there, but it would have been nicer to have a silver one. And then we skipped the whole World War II era from 1942 to 1945. Jump up here and we have a 46 and a 48, and we had a total of 12 of the 1940s. Now coming down to the Jefferson Nickels from the 1930s, as you guys know, the only nickel that actually falls into this category is the 1939. The reason for that is because all the other ones are either key date or low mintage coins, but we did get 2 2 of those at 5 points a piece. That's another 10 points. Now coming down here, we actually were very lucky today to get 2 2009s. One of them was a Philadelphia and one of them was a Denver. So that's another 10 points right there. And then when you add the 1940 Denver, which was another 4-point coin, plus the 1939 San Francisco, which was actually a key date Jefferson, which would be right here, coming in at 20 points, you get a whopping total of 130 points for this box. Now guys, you know that 100 points is a fantastic box. 130 is just blowing it out of the roof. That is just an amazing box of coins, and of course the star of today's hunt was that 1939S, which is making this nice top section here look much nicer. All we need at this point is the 38 Denver and the 39 Denver. Of course, very difficult coins to find, but I think, you know, coming in with that 39S, I'm feeling confident that we can get those 2 slots filled in as well. What I'm not feeling super confident about is this war nickel area. Now these coins have been super difficult to find in recent years, but I'm hoping that eventually we'll start getting more silver coming in. Maybe I'll try different banks and see what I can do. So once again, if you're interested in picking up one of these nickel placemats to aid you in your nickel roll hunting, you can head on over to my website at quinscoins.com, and I'll put links down in the description below. But anyways guys, that's gonna pretty much do it for this episode of Coin Quest Nickels. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go down below and leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, because we post new videos like this every single week, always bringing you along with the hunts and having a good time. And as always, I'm Quinn, and this is Quin's Coins signing out, and I will see you in the next one.